Okay, we're live. Okay, let me play the song. Hopefully we can hear that.
What the fuck is this? AC/DC?
Van Halen, you uncultured swine.
I'm
Alright,
Corellian, you fuck.
welcome to the 4th Star Wars Reviewers Google Hangout. Django couldn't make it today, so I'm your host, Jeremy here at Stupid Chainsaw Productions. Recent partner, third member of the Minox show, and let's go to our other people today. We got Dylan here. Dylan, what do you do?
Hi, I'm Dylan, or John Tuttle in the Facebook groups. I run some Star Wars groups and pages, and including the Star Wars Reviewers, are with Jeremy, Zeem, or Django, and yeah, and Tristan and other people. Yeah, that's me.
Alright, next we got our Swag 77's favorite sociopath.
Yo, I'm Tristan, and I'm the guy on the Minox nest that probably everybody fucking hates.
Dare I say it, Tristan? I think you've become a Twitter bad boy.
Oh, yeah. Especially recently with all the people that are trying to defame me. Hey, guess what I have to say to that?
Yeah, exactly. Next we move to Tebia.
Hey guys, it's me Tesla, and you probably know it from my movie reviews, video game reviews, and my comic reviews. You wonder what I'm gonna review next? I'm gonna review this next. Flash, but it is Star Wars, so we're gonna talk about Star Wars. Enjoy the show.
Excellent. And then we got our new guy. This is Johnny Boy here.
Hey guys! No, really. Yeah, I'm Johnny, also known as Carbon Shadow. I run my own YouTube channel, Carbon Shadow Gaming. I do like Let's Plays and new stuff on that. And then I'm also a host on the Battlefront Network. If you guys haven't heard of it, we are a Battlefront network. Oh, we're a Battlefront-related channel when we put up awesome content for you guys. So yeah, go and check out the Battlefront Network. Then go and check out my channel. And then go and subscribe to both. Why not?
Excellent, and the song is "Pound Cake" by Van Halen off of their 1991 album For Unlawful Carnal Knowledge.
Yay, Van Halen!
Woo!
Rock and roll. Good
I'll
rock
be
and roll.
pounding some cake tonight.
All right, guys. So we have some celebration talk to talk about here.
Yeah, celebration!
For those of you who are now watching here that are part of my comic book people, you probably don't know what Celebration is. Celebration is all of us Star Wars fans' San Diego Comic-Con equivalent.
Yep.
It's like this weird. It's like Orion Festival that Metallica does. It just shows up wherever it feels like, and hopefully it will never show up in Detroit, Michigan.
Wait, why? How come?
Because did
No,
you listen to our?
show up
Don't
in
you,
Detroit, Michigan.
if you don't know that, watch the second Star Wars Reviewers Google Hangout. We take a steaming dump on all of Detroit.
I can't remember. I can't remember that one. I'm gonna have to go rewatch it.
Yeah, I gotta watch that one.
All right, so I wasn't there. Tristan wasn't there. So
I wasn't there either.
I was. Hey,
Lucky.
I was there. So.
Oh, my badge is upstairs, but
Oh man, just show mine off. Like, woo. I can show you the other
you were
badges.
media. I just had a regular badge. I wasn't
Yeah.
there.
Boom. Represent.
Oh, you're so lucky.
Represent, my friends. But yeah, no, I was. I should really keep this on the down low, but as I'm part of the Battlefront network, I was at Celebration because EA wanted me there.
Oh, okay. It's good to be one.
Yeah.
Oh, so
We'll get there.
I went.
Don't worry.
Yeah. I went on behalf of the Battlefront network. EA invited the Battlefront network to go to Celebration to enjoy the celebration, and of course get in on some good, juicy Star Wars Battlefront goodness.
Yeah.
And yeah, I was the one representing
Did they
the
pay
Battlefront network.
for you to be there?
Flights, hotel, and oh, don't you just love it when the EA rep walks around with an American Express corporate card?
So they pay for everything?
No,
Holy shit!
How many days were you there? Because I know, Dylan, you were there all 4 days because I was depressed every day.
I was there for 3 days. I'm surprised I didn't meet up with you, Dylan. I should have, because yeah, I should have got in contact with you guys. But yeah, I was there 3 days. I went home on Saturday, so I was there Thursday, Friday, and then Saturday morning, and then I went home on the Saturday. So, but I got to see Battlefront. I didn't have to queue for Battlefront. Whereas Dylan, you probably had to stand in a line for hours and hours and hours. Yeah. Did you get to see it on the Friday?
I didn't get to see it, and I stayed away from any of the new canon stuff because I was representing the groups who were for the continuation expanded universe. So I was more on the lines of expanded universe stuff. That I was hanging around like the Del Rey booth and their panels and.
Oh
Fantasy
yeah,
Flight.
yeah.
Yeah.
I saw that. I saw that stuff. That was cool. But yeah,
I wish I was there.
that's your area of expertise. That's not my. I'm the Battlefront guy. But yeah.
Well, Dylan, tell us the big news about the Legends.
Yeah.
Okay, well, a few things. Just 3 announcements that came out from the book side of it. Alan Dean Foster will be the author of the Star Wars Episodes Force Awakens novelization that was announced there.
Ooh.
They also announced a Battlefront tie-in novel.
Yes,
Which-
I heard about that.
Yeah.
Somehow they're going to make a novel out of a book game that has no single-player campaign or story.
Well,
Wait,
it's
how's
All
it gonna-
linked sections, people. We will talk
It's
about
called-
that when we get to Battlefront here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure.
I will learn
Pretty sure
about
it's called Battlefront with a little subtitle on it, isn't it? It's
No,
I just
Battlefront
saw
and there's a
Battlefront.
subtitle.
I just saw a cover that just said Battlefront coming.
So did
fall.
I.
Yeah.
So do I.
I'm gonna do some research on that because I think they're just using the term Battlefront to sell the book. I don't think it's actually going to have anything to do with the game.
Probably not.
Right.
It says
I don't
it
either.
says it says it's a tie-in book. It says it's a tie-in book with the game, but I don't see how that's going to work because all the missions, the Battlefront will move on to this, but the Battlefront missions, which we'll talk about later,
Yep.
are all going to be, well, they're all going to sort of revolve around parts from the films and maybe certain parts from Force Awakens, but yeah, we'll move on to that later on.
Right. And the other big announcement was Fantasy Flight, who has the license for Star Wars tabletop games, announced that they have just signed a contract extension to continue doing Star Wars
That's
games.
cool.
That's good.
Now, that's
And-
good. But here's the second bit of news there. They
Yeah.
also announced that they have in the works Star Wars Force Awakens tie-in things. They're going to start doing Star Wars Force Awakens.
Boo.
And those two together.
Everyone here. It takes forever to come out with an RPG book.
Yeah.
Right.
yeah.
They,
I
they
know.
said they got the rights in 2011. Their
Come
first.
out by now.
Hey, so wait, is this gonna,
It's going to come out. Did they say when it was going to come out, Dylan?
No, they said we are. They said before the question started. They said, first of all, we are working on Force Awakens stuff. We do have stuff in the works, but we can't talk about that right now. So what we're going to talk about is what we have to talk about.
You know
That's
what?
all they said.
We probably won't see that book until Rogue One comes out. I bet you it'll take that
Yeah.
long just to
Right.
develop that.
Yeah. Some
Right, because
corporate
they
reaching
even
over.
said they got the rights to Star Wars in like 2011, but they didn't come out for another their first book for like 2 years after that.
Yeah.
I mean, it takes ages to develop an RPG.
hey, so does that mean that they're gonna use the same system?
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I wonder.
It's all speculation at this point, but that's what it's looking like.
Well, because Age of Rebellion and Edge of the Empire, they're identical systems. You can literally switch your Edge of the Empire campaign over to Age of Rebellion, and in fact, if you play Edge of Empire first, then you go into Age of Rebellion and you're the Force-sensitive character, you get better powers. Like,
So wait, it's pretty much just different sides of the spectrum, is what it seems like to me.
Yes.
Age of
Yeah.
Rebellion, you get to be a rebel. Edge of the Empire is pretty much you're a criminal or
You're the Empire,
What's-
basically. You're with the bad guys.
And then,
it's pretty obvious what Force and Destiny is going to be.
but you
Yeah.
could
Yeah, Force and Destiny sound more like you choose your path, Jedi or Sith.
Yeah.
No in between, no neutral.
well, there wasn't even Jedi or Sith. That wasn't the main goal of the RPG. It's the first one that's ever done this. But you wouldn't have
Well, they're
if
going
you're
for
Force
Rebellion
sensitive,
era.
you don't have a lightsaber. It's actually kind of a shitty class, in my
What?
opinion. Reading it
Mhm.
in Edge of the in the Fantasy Flight games. Oh, it was shitty in my opinion. Saga Edition, with Wizard of the Coast had it, where that the Jedi just sucked. It's just not a good class.
The Republic.
Flash,
It's-
we can take me back in
you
time.
play
So
your
I can,
video game RPGs all you want, Tristan.
Yeah.
I'll stick to my.
I play video game RPGs. That's my
We're
department.
talking
The
about
only-
tabletop here.
The only tabletop RPG I play is Pathfinder. I play Pathfinder.
Pathfinder's great.
I play.
I think it's freaking awesome. I prefer I've played a game of D&D 3.5 and I prefer Pathfinder to it. I mean, they're practically one and the same, but I just prefer Pathfinder over the between the two. So again,
Well,
that's just me
back
though.
to Star
Yep.
Wars here.
Yeah.
Dylan
What?
asked a really cool question to
Oh yes, my
Yeah.
question. So Edward, who couldn't make it, has 3 videos up, which is most of the canon panel that they did. It's like it cut off like before 5 or 6 of the last questions, which aren't that important to our burps. But I did ask, can we, see the Legends storylines continued? And they basically gave the party line answer like, well, it's not what we're concerned with right now. We're focused on the new movies, but in the future, who knows? Which was kind of the question came up a lot. Thankfully, it came up a lot. I wasn't asking it. There were plenty of people asking it, and they kept on going the party line. But the thing that I expected that answer, but the thing that got me was the reaction I got after answering the question of people applauding. There was another question. Watch the video. It's part 3 of that, and it's at the 10-minute mark because I asked the question. There was another one at the Del Rey panel. There were 2 questions which I thought were interesting. One, someone asked, how many copies of Dark Disciple do we need to buy to get Sword of the Jedi released? That got a good reaction. And then there was another one which I thought was interesting the way they answered it. Someone at the Del Rey panel asked, I have never read any Star Wars books. Where should I start? And of course, everyone and their mother was yelling like all kinds of books, and it's mostly Heir to the Empire. Then the people at the Del Rey panel said, well, there isn't really a starting point. All of our books are self-contained. All their books are like one story, so you can start anywhere you want. And I'm sitting in the crowd going, I'm not sure if that's better.
Yeah.
Than like having everyone and their mother just saying Heir to the Empire, because that's how it was. It was I want to start reading Star Wars, Heir to the Empire. In fact, in one of our Google Hangouts, we did a thing where we had like starting places of the EU. I'm pretty sure everyone had Heir to the Empire, and then someone took it, and then we were like, shit, we have to think of something else now.
Yep.
Because that is the starting plot. That is it.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, the thing I had a problem with, and I haven't finished this panel yet, is I got sick to my stomach through part of it when they got to the Marvel people.
Oh yes, the Marvel.
Oh
The
yeah.
Marvel people are fucking morons. I'm sorry if that gets my partnership taken away. I'm sorry. It's just my opinion. They didn't know probably jack from shit about the EU. They only knew the movies.
Yep.
And so they're doing all this stuff with they're going to Leland
OG
Cheap
nostalgia.
Gato with all these questions and stuff.
Darth Vader tie-in.
Princess Leia is the one they're really doing that for, I guess. But the thing with the Marvel comics right now, and I'm sorry if I'm sidetracked right now, is no people who are reading them right now and are reading Darth Vader and Star Wars, they don't know what's going on where.
Yeah, they don't.
They did a piss poor job of tying the two together because it is obviously set up that they were going to tie together immediately.
Mm-hmm.
But unfortunately for them, and now I know why, the Marvel people are way out of their depth with it.
They haven't had Star Wars in the comics for a year because Marvel showed the light to Dark Horse. Dark Horse took over, and Dark Horse made them perfection.
Well, Dark Horse did stuff different. They started with Dark Empire, like
Yeah,
which
Dark Empire.
there was nothing around. Well, the Thrawn trilogy had happened, but that had happened significantly before Dark Empire.
Yeah. Oh,
So
the Shadow Empire. Shadow Empire, my man, is a great game. And that kind of way because stupid
But-
reasons.
Later.
Yeah, Shadows Empire was much later. We're talking
Much
about
later after
original Dark Horse, first thing they came out with.
Yeah, that was
With Dark
19.
Empire, and then they went into they did Rogue Squadron,
Yep.
and they went to Tales of the Jedi. So they didn't try to tie things together that much. They left it to the story group to do it.
And
Dark-
then we got Old Republic. Old Republic was next, right?
Whatever. There's all sorts of shit came out.
Yeah.
Dark Horse got big after that, but
Yep.
The thing now is they decided they were going to go with what sold when they did Marvel, which was the original trilogy characters during the Rebellion era.
They
So
pretty
we
much
see
trying to
that
target the
story
old
time and
nostalgia
time.
is what they're
Sorry.
doing. It's exactly what they're doing.
Yep. Playing to nostalgia instead of trying a good story, the original story, because we've seen the Rebellion era time and time and time again. I
Well, now
get
they
it.
do
It sells
Rebellion
copies.
because there's nothing there anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, no Clone Wars, no Old Republic era, no Charge the Empire era, no Cold. Wait.
Yeah, we know, Ted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you guys mentioned the story group. I did get a chance to speak with the story group people. In particular, I got a brief word with Pablo Hidalgo, but he had to go, so all I could get him to do was sign my Reader's Companion, which I have right here by him and Mr. Leland Shee,
He's
who I
probably
got to have
dying if no
a
question.
conversation with. And he was toting. Unfortunately, I know he was toting the party line on this. He seemed generally excited that there was a new movie, but he did give me a few little quips that he still has the old EU holocron. That is still a thing. He still has it on his computer. What
Yay!
he's done is the new canon holocron is on the same page as the EU holocron. It's just in separate parts of the page. Kind of like what Wikipedia is doing with the Legends and Canon tab. It's just in different parts.
Yeah.
He also said, which is kind of concerning, but depending on whether you want this or not, might not be. He also said that they have that if they're looking for something to add to new canon that doesn't exist in new canon, they are free to mine from the expanded universe. And he had like if they need a ship or an alien species or a planet that they can take from there, which is kind of concerning, but not much. I also got a chance to talk to Shelley Shapiro, who is one of the lead editors at Del Rey, and a lot of the Del Rey people. They were very nice. They were very surprised at both. They kind of knew they would get some pushback on the expanded universe. They were surprised how respectful and nice everyone. So thank you for everyone who asked those questions, because they got a lot of them. They do share. I could talking to these people, they do share our love of the expanded universe. And although they're tugging the party line, you can tell they would want to do it again. In fact, I could really tell when I asked the authors who were there. Let's see, Jason Fry was there, who did some of the source books. Drew Karpyshyn, James Luceno, John Jackson Miller, Christy Golden were there,
He's a
as well as
badass.
Alan Dean
You
Foster.
actually got to talk to several of these authors.
I got to talk to every single one of them. I asked each and every single one of them if they would want to write for Legends again. Every single one of them said yes. In fact, Drew Karpyshyn and James Luceno, as soon as I asked them, their eyes lit up. They were just like, oh, they made sure, every single one of them made sure to say, if they let me, I would love to write for the expanded universe. And Drew Karpyshyn went into the Old Republic and how much he would like Old Republic, and Luceno went on his little rant. And you know,
Dude, I'd love to see some more books.
Yeah,
from the
same
Republic.
here. Old Republic is awesome. You hear that, didn't they? People love to eat of the Old Republic era. Bring that back.
yeah, they're aware of us. And funny you should mention the Old Republic. They got Old Republic questions. Is it canon or not? And they kind of skirted around the fact, saying, yeah, you know, they kind of like, we're not sure what BioWare's doing. It's kind of separate, but yeah, it's not going to tie in. So they kind of skirted around the question, but you know, Old Republic is still not canon. Sorry.
Yeah, you're not getting. You're down with us, Old Republic people.
But the big thing, man, we need to go to more conventions, because I met so many people. I met cosplayers. I met people outside the Del Rey booth, the lines to the panels by Del Rey. I met people at the bookstore who were just looking at books. I'm like, oh, you like Expanded Universe books? Like, yeah. And like, I'm just talking to people. We need to go out there and find these people, because they're out there and they don't know about us.
Oh yeah.
I only
That's what I'm doing on Free Comic Day next weekend.
Well,
Free
guys,
commentary, I'm so going there. I am not missing that.
next Star Wars Celebration is in London, so
Yep.
if
Yep.
you guys wanted to hop across the pond, I wouldn't mind coming and saying hello. So,
Can I stay at your house? Can we all stay at your house?
that would be pretty awesome, except I don't live in London. I come from London. I don't currently live in London because I study elsewhere, so
Oh, bummer.
something could be arranged, maybe.
Hotel rooms on you, brother.
Oh, yeah, no. Well, actually, the rooms might be on EA, so.
Oh yeah, I forgot. EA like pay you and that thing.
On the couch.
Shut.
I don't know. I'll pull some strings. I'll pull some strings, guys.
I'm just kidding.
Talk about the weird thing that came from Celebration. And no, not that BB-8 is actually a thing.
Hey! No. I said BB-8 was real from the start, and everyone was like, "Oh, fuck off! He's CGI." I was like, "No, that little droid there is real." No,
Yeah, it's real.
Well, I didn't know they built him to scale with the actors.
No, I thought he's completely real. He'll be like they did R2, like they did all the other droids, like R4, R2, R5, like they've done all the other droids. He will be real.
Those were CGI in the prequels.
Yeah, they were.
If you listen to the audio commentary, Mick McCullen has like a jack-off fest over all of them in the prequels. But everything was a special effect. Anyway, let's talk about the Vong here, which was
yes, the Vong.
Oh yeah,
from
Vong.
Celebration.
I also had a chance to go to the Clone Wars. The Clone Wars, they were doing like a secret missions thing. They had a lot of like, you know, rough schedules and things. Which another thing I found interesting is for all you Save the Clone Wars people, Dave Filoni knows about you. He had a shout out to the Save Filoni, the Clone Wars people a lot. So he knows about you. You know, he can't, again, just like everyone, he can't. You know, he's got to tug the party line of, oh, we're doing our own thing.
Oh yeah, I met
They
Dave Filoni. I met Dave Filoni and said,
How is he? Is he a nice guy or is he?
Yeah. He was a nice guy. I mean, he was in a bit of a rush, and people were trying to take loads of photos with him and stuff. But he is a really nice, down-to-earth guy. So is everyone else I met, because I met a load of journalists as well. But we'll get onto that later.
Yeah, everyone I met, they were nice people too. Even the Del Rey, they were nice.
Everyone there was just so nice. It's unbelievable. It's you know.
That's interesting.
They had a concept art of the picture's been circulating around the internet of a Vong scout ship and like a Yuzhan Vong, like they got concept drawings for that because they were going to do a Yuzhan Vong arc or like an episode or two, which would be like a Jedi starfighter gets too far out and it's like a it would be like an invasion, like alien abduction thing with the Yuzhan Vong.
And these idiots say that wasn't Star Wars. Is the funniest thing. They say that's the reason why they hated the EU and they were going to include it in Clone Wars.
Yeah,
that would have been awesome. I want to see that, but no, didn't need the stupid corporate.
They wouldn't be saying crap about the Vong had they been in TCW, and they know it.
Yeah.
Sorry. Well, here's the thing. I was talking to someone who I just met, by the way. He didn't know about our move, but I was talking to someone about it, like, yeah. So, yeah, they had a Vong thing. It's like, oh, my God. Knowing Dave Filoni's track record, he would make the Vong just like what he made the Mando. It's just like, oh, the peaceful. They hate warfare. They hate murder.
Well, he'd probably make it so that it was the Jedi's fault that they didn't.
Yeah.
It was the Sith fault, wasn't it?
Oh, who knows whose fault it was? That's the beauty of the Vong is we never find out.
And hopefully we never will, or else that'll completely ruin everything.
It would have been interesting if in Dawn of the Jedi you saw them get pulled out of the Force. That would have been...
I always thought that the Vong just looked around the galaxy and said, okay, the Jedi are probably the biggest threat to us, so let's just hate them.
Yeah,
it makes sense.
I bet it when Vong said, okay, it's Jedi and Sith, they hate each other, so we are going to wait and watch who wins. If the Sith win, then we attack the Sith. If Jedi win, we attack the Jedi. Everybody wins. That's what I thought.
Yeah, I don't know, but so is that all of the Celebration talk we have?
One more, the trailer for
episode 7. I got a free book.
We'll get into that as a different thing.
I don't. Well, there was loads going on at Celebration, but I mean,
Yeah, there was a lot.
from an EU standpoint, I'm pretty sure that's everything.
Wait, what about the comics? Or any,
Video games we're obviously going to cover. There was only one video game there, which of course was Star Wars Battlefront, but we are going to cover that.
I couldn't get into the Marvel panel, unfortunately. I tried to, but it's Marvel, and
I only went to 2 panels, so I sort of failed in that respect. I spent most of my time on the show floor, just like checking out everything because there was so much there. It was so big, and there was so much there.
I used my Lego collection. I got a TIE Defender. I've got it right here. Yes.
Oh my god, that's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah, I've seen that before from a PS1 game.
Single-handedly, the best ship ever.
Yeah.
The TIE Defender. There's the TIE Defender and the TIE Interceptor. Single-handedly, the best Imperial ships in existence. In my opinion.
The TIE Defender also had a stealth camouflage.
Exactly.
Genius. Once for one, it self-destructs.
I want the TIE Defender to show up in Rebels. If the TIE Defender shows up in Rebels, I'm done. That's I can die happy.
Real quickly here. Someone leaked the Rogue One trailer?
Well, it wasn't exactly leaked because it was always I knew because one of the journalists I was with writes for Empire magazine, which is a magazine we have in the UK. I don't know if it runs in the US, but it's a film magazine. And he writes for Empire, and he told me he was going to the Rogue One panel, and I was pretty sure they were going to show some sort of teaser, and from what I've seen, from what we've all seen, the concept art is awesome as hell, but the trailer may only be a panning shot with a little bit of special effects at the end of it and an Obi-Wan voiceover on it, but it is friggin' immense. I mean, it's just for what it teases we get hardly anything from it, but it teases awesomeness. That's the problem. I mean, when have you ever seen in a film the Death Star that close to a planet? It takes up half the friggin' horizon. It is amazing. I'm guessing everyone's seen the Rogue One trailer.
I have. I saw it online.
I wasn't impressed.
I'm not watching.
Rogue One, it seemed to me about a Ghost Squadron. Now, I played Ghost Squadron, all 3 games. I love those games.
I read the books and they were badass.
Yeah, the books were awesome.
I never read the books. I just played the games. And for what I know for the games, in my opinion, which I still love those games to this day, I need to shut this game down again because I want to play it one more time.
Well, my thing with the Rogue One is I'm really not looking forward to any of these spin-offs. Like, it's way too much Star Wars. Just way too much. It's doing what they're doing with Marvel, with the Marvel U, not the X-Men stuff and
MCU,
all the 20th Century Fox stuff. What the Disney Marvel's doing, and the Disney Marvel's putting way too many films out at once. It's going to crash, and it's going to crash really soon.
I don't think Marvel's going to crash and burn from a movie fanatic and from a fan of the films. I don't think they're going to crash and burn. I mean, there are some of them which aren't going to do as well as the others, but
like Fox and Sony.
No. I mean actual Marvel films. But I can't see them crashing and burning throughout the next 2 phases they've got planned.
Yeah, I can't see it happening. They're not crashing.
And to me, that is just really cocky to plan your films out for 10 years. That's because superhero movies died. They died in the 90s. They can die again.
They actually died in the 90s and the early 2000s because the early 2000s we had a lot of bad movies. We got the first Spider-Man movie, which was good.
Well,
Blade was good.
That was the 2000s. Yeah. That was the 2000s. That wasn't the 90s.
Yeah.
I see it died with Batman and Robin.
Yeah, it did die.
Yeah, that's the problem is that I think back then there wasn't as big of a hype train, whereas because ever since the first Iron Man, the Marvel films have just been most of them have been of such a good caliber that it's kept an audience. it's kept an audience, and it's brought new people into that universe. It's brought people who've never read the comic books into the Marvel universe. And the fact that they've listed, like, God knows how many films over the next 10 years, it's just completely, it's just chewing the hype train. That's what it's doing. It's the same way. It's the same way with the Battlefront trailer, and I'll get onto the hype train part of the Battlefront trailer later. But everything that everyone or anyone who's producing anything now has to get people on this hype train.
Yeah,
because without the hype train, they don't make sales.
Yep, it's all about the money, baby. Cha-ching, cha-ching, cha-ching.
Unfortunately, with the big franchises, that seems to be the case. Like the smaller franchises, well, with the smaller franchises, they don't care because they know they've got their fan base. They know their fan base is going to stick by them. But with the bigger franchises, they're like, oh, well, if we can get this many people on, we can get even more people. We just need to build a bigger hype train.
We're not going to talk about Terminator on here because that will put me in a foul mood.
No, I don't think Terminator should be talked about at all.
But to get back to what I was getting at, it's just they're going to release way too much content way too quickly, and then it's going to crash and burn a little bit, and then we're going to have a 10-year period probably of people besides us not wanting anything from Star Wars. It's just going to be way too much. If they're doing what Marvel's doing, which is 2 movies a year, that's just way too much stuff, and it's just going to be too much for everything.
The thing is, Marvel have such a wide array of characters and
story
arcs that they can afford to do that. However, Star Wars, they can do it for a time. However, Star Wars is a more complicated case because of how the EU stands right now, and because they're creating a new EU and yada yada yada. They're trying to completely rebuild everything through films and through all mediums possible in as quick a time as possible.
Yeah, but you can't do that. You can't do that because you let kind of everyone to expand human, then you start from scratch. And the problem is starting from scratch, you don't know where to start. And the problem with doing that, like the New 52 did, which I know this Star film, but hear me out on this one. But what DC did with the New 52, it screwed everything up, and that was a huge fucking mess.
The thing is,
that's a different story. But
the thing is, in any fandom, the casual fans
don't care.
Make the company more money. All over, casual fans outsell hardcore fans. Hardcore fans per capita are more profitable, I should say. But as a total, your casual fans are where you get most of your sales.
True.
So they have to adhere to the casual fans. What do the casual fans want? They want Han, Leia, and Chewie, and Han,
Leia, Chewie, Luke.
I said Chewie because he dies in. Oh, spoiler!
Yeah.
Well, he dies. He dies in the EU, but obviously, he doesn't die now. Spoiler alert.
As far as we know, we don't know if he dies in the movie.
We don't even call that a spoiler.
Well, I guess
it should be.
It shouldn't be a spoiler. Everyone should know that Chewbacca dies because a moon falls on him, and he is just that awesome. He's
like a badass.
Chewbacca died like a badass. Let's try and keep it that way. Because if they kill Chewbacca off in the film and he has some shitty death, don't even get me started. Because nothing beats getting crushed by a fucking moon.
Yeah, and going out in a rate of glory.
Let's take him down.
Chewbacca. Let's talk about the Force Awakens trailer.
Okay, so
I'd rather talk about EU Chewbacca.
EU Chewbacca. I support that. Yeah.
Before we get into the second Force Awakens trailer, there's one thing I want to say. I went and saw Age of Ultron today, and they play a trailer reel at the start of the films. They played the first Force Awakens trailer. And I'm like, seriously, get with the times. Why would you play the first one?
They'll release it in America, and they'll release the second trailer with it. I'm sorry, but that's what they planned. I read that.
Yep.
Yeah,
I think it's stupid because they know release dates are going to be staggered. I mean, I saw the the teaser trailer, the second teaser trailer on the big screen anyway because I was at the event at Star Wars Celebration. But still, I think if you're going to stagger releases like you do because different countries have different rights, then the trailer shouldn't wait for the American audience because there's still a huge audience across the rest of the globe. Don't get me wrong, loads of Star Wars fans in America, but there are loads of Star Wars fans in the UK. There's loads of Star Wars fans in Europe. There's loads of Star Wars fans everywhere. Yeah, exactly. Wherever. So I don't see why we should have to wait until May 1st because we're practically getting we got Age of Ultron a week before you guys did. A week.
Lucky.
That's 7 whole days. So that means if anyone wants to go to the cinema to see the Star Wars Episode 7 second teaser trailer, they have to wait 7 days until it comes out in America until everyone has the rights to actually show it in the cinema. And I think that is a load of bullcrap.
It is bullcrap.
That's just how things work sometimes.
I know.
It is bullcrap. Johnny's right on this one because it's not only fair that I'm sorry you just told me that you guys the Brits, which sorry this strange word, but that you guys get the movies first and we have to wait until May 1st, which is in my opinion. Why? If they get the movie first and they get to see it, then why can we see it at the same time you guys do?
I'm trying to find out. I'm trying to find out why they pick the release dates they do for certain countries, and I'm not entirely sure. Yeah, no, obviously, but I have
money.
I have no idea why it came out in the UK before it came out in the US, but there is always a reason for it. There is always a reason for bringing a film out in a certain country before another one.
Dredd did well in the UK, but in the US, we idiot Americans, we decided to see something else. I saw Dredd in theaters. I love that movie.
But anyway, back to Force Awakens.
So
Force Awakens,
the Force Awakens teaser, for the second Force Awakens teaser trailer, what can I say? Hashtag hype train.
Hashtag hype train. Right. It wasn't
because
the best thing I've ever seen.
No, I mean, because I guess there was a load of euphoria, really, because I was there with the crowds, we were watching it live as it was being released, as it was being streamed, and I guess the fact I was there at the event made it feel bigger than it actually was. So, we were all cheering and everything at it, and, you just get that sort of euphoria. It's like, yeah, it's coming out, come on, yes, this is going to be amazing. And then you go home and you watch it back on your laptop screen, and you're like, yeah, okay. It could have been better.
There were certain things in there that looked awful. The Stormtroopers' costumes look really, really plastic.
I've seen the costumes up close because they were on the show floor at Star Wars Celebration.
Look,
there were people cosplaying as them too in the 501st League. Yeah. I saw a lot of them.
Yeah, they are.
They actually they're not terrible. They're not terrible, but then, I mean, you have to admit that the original Stormtroopers looked really plastic as well.
But
the original Stormtroopers look.
I think it's the way it's filmed. The way J.J. Abrams films things, certain things stick out that are real.
Yep.
And I had the same problem when watching his Star Trek movies.
I kind of like the first Star Trek movie, man.
I'm not saying that I liked it or not, Teddy. That's not what I'm getting at here. It's just certain things stick out, and their costumes, they just looked wonky. I don't know if it's the green screen effect on them. It just looks weird. And then people were like, for instance, Happy Console Gamer was like, he did his attention whore video where he's watching the Force Awakens trailer. He's like, I got the shivers. Oh, I got goosebumps. Shut the hell up.
I'm gonna get the trailer up and watch it again because I wanna. And whilst you're talking about it, I'm gonna actually look at these things in depth because the problem is.
And then we got the Revan controversy. I'll call it.
Let's be fair.
Kylo Ren is the new character's name. Am I correct on that?
Yes. The new Sith is Kylo Ren. Yeah.
Looks like Revan from
Hey,
Knights of the
He
Old
does. He
Republic.
does look
does
a
look
lot like
Revan.
Revan.
It was
You
like,
guys saw how someone defaced his page on Wikipedia and said he
yeah.
said basically it's a cheap imitation of Revan, or like it's like ripping off of Revan, and then apparently his Wikipedia page has since been like locked. They
Yeah, they
changed it
ripped
almost
off
immediately, and it's been
Oh,
locked,
really
but
quick.
someone got the screenshot off, and it's been circling around the internet.
So
Yeah.
like, I guess let's pick out the worst parts of the trailer and then let's pick out the best parts of the trailer. So again, has anyone else got anything that they really
The
hated
Star
about the
Destroyer
trailer?
in the back of that original scene.
Yeah. Well, what about it?
It didn't feel right. Like it looked like it's been a while since I've seen it.
Yeah, no, I've got the frame up here, and I can see what you mean.
Yeah.
The only time we've ever seen a Star Destroyer pulled down into atmosphere was Force Unleashed.
Force Unleashed.
Yeah,
Force Unleashed,
exactly.
baby.
And that, I mean,
I
yeah,
love that
don't get me
game.
wrong. I like Force Unleashed, and I like
I
the
love the
fact that you could
story.
actually pull a Star Destroyer down into atmosphere.
Yep.
But I think we'll find out why that Star Destroyer ends up where it is in the Battlefront DLC. We'll move on to that.
But,
One game
you know.
about to be canon, Darren. He's the one
I
who
like-
did that stuff.
was there anything right?
Wow.
There really wasn't. I I don't mean to sound incredibly negative and stereotypical, but there wasn't anything that impressed me because I compare every trailer to the Revenge of the Sith teaser trailer, which is one of the best teaser trailers ever done.
I've forgotten the Revenge of the Sith teaser trailer, not because I was quite young back then.
Yeah,
I
I
will
mean,
have
pretty
to
much
watch
I
it.
see a teacher.
But
I didn't see a teacher again.
the thing was, in this, they did something that the Revenge of the Sith trailer did, which they had Darth Vader's breathing in there, which, why on earth someone dug up Darth Vader? That's the dumbest thing.
Well, see, the thing is, Darth Vader was never buried. We don't know that Darth
he
Vader's
was.
body was buried. He was burned.
That you're
Yeah,
digging
he
through
was.
bones.
Nostalgia.
You can
Well,
It's nostalgia. It's the same reason why they had Han and Chewie in the end.
Yeah. All we see in there is his helmet. All we see in there is his helmet. I don't know what it's displayed on or anything, but it is standing on something.
But
I'm not entirely sure what it is.
I thought helmet was on the Death Star. Like when Luke took the helmet off, you saw his face.
No,
And
no. Vader was burned in full body armor, including helmet. Everything Vader had was on that pyre, apart from his lightsaber.
It's symbolism that way, yeah.
Oh yeah, I forgot. I was in that movie.
The Han and Chewie show up at the end, which is the big thing that everyone's talking about.
This is what I'm saying. Hashtag hype train.
Yeah,
Hashtag
Hype train. That's why it was put in there. So you see the Millennium Falcon come through. It flies in. We've already seen the Millennium Falcon. We know it's going to be in there.
Yeah.
Technically, we don't know who's going to be flying it in the first teaser trailer, but we can all assume it's Han and Chewie.
Yeah,
So
that would make sense.
So just to build the hype up even more, it flies into the back of the crashed Star Destroyer we see at the start of the trailer, just to build hype even more. It flies into that.
Edward, I'm glad you're late.
And then it cuts to black, which that's how you build hype when you're editing. You cut to black. You put the suspense in there. You have a couple of seconds of music, and then Han turns up and Chewie's there, and it just goes, Chewie, we're home. And I'm telling you, when I was in the panel, the room erupted. I'm going to admit I erupted with it because of euphoria, because of the emotions that everyone was sharing. The force was in that room. You could feel the force in that room because everyone was sharing the same emotions. But when you get out, when you analyze it from a journalistic point of view, and from like a really critical point of view, it is in there as it's in there as a hype mechanic.
Yeah.
And the thing is, it's a teaser. I mean, how long is it? 100 seconds?
So
minute
it's 2 minutes long. 2 minutes long.
2 minutes
So
long. Okay.
It's 120 seconds.
You could take 2 minutes. I challenge you. Take 2 minutes, 2 random minutes out of any piece of shit movie. You could make it look decent. I mean, it's just.
I can make the run look decent. I can make the run look decent.
Make Battlefield Earth
Just a
good
2-minute
and get
trailer.
back to me.
I will make a 2-minute trailer of The Room, and it will look freaking amazing.
One of the best.
Well, no, I got a bad movie to do a 2-minute. Do Battlefield Earth. Make the 2-minute trailer on Battlefield Earth and make that good. I dare you.
Let's
Hey, I
jump
hate to get us
here.
off topic, but I think these crackers are stale.
Food, man. You and food.
Found something that doesn't taste good, he's gonna eat it anyway.
Of course he is.
Okay, well, real quickly, Edward, can you hear me? Edward, is your mic working?
Edward?
Edward.
Working here.
Well, that's not good.
What's going on?
Well,
What's happening?
anyway, let's dive into Battlefront.
Okay.
The trailer.
Okay, so
All day.
this
Hey,
really
the trailer
is my
actually
area of expertise. This really is my area of expertise.
Same here.
But I guess the first thing we'll kick off with, before I talk to you about what I saw, the first thing we'll kick off with is the trailer. So what was everyone's reactions to the trailer? How did people find the
Let me
trailer?
reenact Django's reaction.
We should... wait. You missed one part. Boba Fett comes in and he just goes, ah!
I need to watch this now.
First, Boba Fett flies into shot, and you just see Django's O face.
Yeah.
He leans back in his chair, and he literally just comes himself silly.
Anyway,
And it is
now that
ridiculous.
we've shit all over Django here.
No. But the thing is that if you haven't seen it on the Battlefront Network, I created a Battlefront trailer montage. So it is a montage of all 5 members reacting to the Battlefront trailer, and I just had to use for the Boba Fett cut. I had to use the bit where Jango Fett just goes ah, because it's amazing. It's freaking amazing. If you guys want to go and watch that now,
I gotta watch that.
I'm going to because I haven't seen
Yeah,
it.
I will watch it after.
where can I? I'll throw a link in the Hangout somewhere. But yeah, you guys go and check that out because it is it's pretty cool. But yeah, so Battlefront. What was everyone's Jango Fett out the way? Jango Fett hating out the way. How did everyone find the trailer? I'd be interested to know
like it
what everyone thought of the trailer.
at all. I thought it was bad. To be honest, it was done. We didn't see any gameplay.
You were never gonna see. I'm sorry, but you were never.
Yeah.
You were never going to see any gameplay in the first trailer they released for any game, and this is
trailer. This teaser. What, 2 years ago now?
that wasn't
2 years ago.
there was no gameplay in that. There was
It was not gameplay.
in that.
It was basically an all in-game engine.
In the document, there was no gameplay in the first teaser where the Crash Snowspeeder lands on Hoth. When they brought out the mini documentary, there was no gameplay in that. We saw models on computer screens, and that was as far as it went. We saw walkers walking in engine on a wireframe map. That's as far as that went. And then when they released this trailer, they were going for the full cinematic experience because #hype train. And this is what I'm trying to get out to people, is that any big company nowadays is going to jump on the hype train. Any game that comes out, the first thing they will do is create hype by bringing out a cinematic trailer because...
Well, the thing in the cinematic trailer, it was demonstrating some of the stuff that you should be able to do in the game.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken. The only new thing they brought in was that shield generator thing.
Yeah. Which it might be that's kind of cool.
No, shield generator, jetpacks were never confirmed, so we've got jetpacks. Okay.
Jetpacks in Renegade Squad. You could put a jetpack on any character you made in the PSP game Renegade Squad.
And Babel 1, Babel 2, you had jetpack. Babel get jetpacks.
That's
and
true, but I'm talking about console versions of the game. I'm not talking about the portable ones. Don't get me wrong.
No. I'm talking about consoles too. I'm talking about consoles.
Renegade Squadron and Elite Squadron
you're talking about a class, though.
are battlefronts, but we're not. I'm not talking about those because they were not brought out on the big consoles, which is what this game is. It is the next big Battlefront for consoles and PC.
Yeah.
And that's what Renegade Squadron could have been a game that came out on PC, but it didn't. Elite Squadron could have been an awesome game that came out on PC, but it didn't. And that's where Rebellion failed. That is where Rebellion failed.
But Star Battle 1, Star Battle 2, those games came on consoles, if I remember well, and those games were great. Because those games had space. Anyway, Battle 1 didn't have space combat. Battle 2 had space combat. And Battle 2 was fucking amazing.
We'll move on to space combat because that's something else entirely, and I have my feelings on that one. But the point I'm trying to make is everything we saw in this trailer is stuff that you're actually going to be able to play on your PC, on your Xbox One, on your PS4. You couldn't do that with Elite Squadron and Renegade Squadron. Don't get me wrong, you still got to enjoy the game on a portable experience, but you weren't able to.
Not the same.
Yeah, I don't think hardcore game now. Define hardcore gamer, but I don't think hardcore gamers would go out of their way to buy a PSP to play Elite Squadron and Renegade Squadron.
I would.
No, they wouldn't.
I did.
No,
I did.
It depends on how hardcore you are.
Throw in my 2 cents here real quick. The thing with these things, and the same with the Y-Wings bombing the AT-AT, you could do that in Elite Squad. That's not a selling feature to a console game necessarily. That's kind of embarrassing that you couldn't do that before. That gets thrown in now.
Well, that bombing stuff was in Battlefront. No, not Battlefront, Battlefield. I got that back.
What do you mean by that gets thrown in now instead of thrown in earlier? What do you mean?
Well, they could have done it so many times before. That's, to me, show me something that we've never seen before, like the shield generator. That's a step in the right direction. Show me all sorts of stuff. Like when Darth Vader shows up, that's not a selling feature to me because we got that in Battlefront 2.
No, it's not. The thing is, what you've got to realize is this isn't Battlefront 1, this isn't Battlefront 2, this isn't Renegade Squadron, this isn't Elite Squadron, this is Star Wars Battlefront. It is a completely new IP. However much you want to link this back to Battlefront 1 to Elite Squadron, Renegade Squadron, it is a new IP using the Battlefront name. So we've got to come into this considering that it's a completely new game. It's based on older games, but it is a completely new game. It built in a completely new engine. So, you know,
Frostbite engine, right?
Frostbite 3 engine, which I'm considering 3.5 because what they did with that engine is they took everything from Battlefield 4. They took the Battlefield 4 build. They stripped everything back to Frostbite's original engine, and then they built from the ground up and improved the engine from there. So I believe it's Frostbite 3.5, not 3. Yeah. But that's just
my opinion.
That
sounds a bit odd. That does sound odd in my opinion because here's the thing. I played Battlefront 1. I played Battlefront 2. Battlefront 2 is my ultimate favorite game all the time. Well, one of my ultimate favorite games for startup purposes. And what made me excited about Battlefront 2 was space combat and going in space and attacking battleships. Now, in this game, for what I heard, there is no space combat. To which I say, are you fucking stupid? People love space combat Battlefront 2. Did you think that way?
Here's the thing.
And his no, I'm gonna let Dylan make his point, and then I'll.
Well, the one thing you're assuming there that this is a sequel to Battlefront 2.
That's what I thought.
I thought it was too, but they're calling it Battlefront. They're not calling it Battlefront 3. They're calling it Battlefront, which makes me think this is like the whole EU think this is a reboot of Battlefront. So they are going to start fresh. They're going to take.
Well, they mentioned that before the reboot of the EU.
Exactly. This is not Battlefront 3, and that's what people need to start realizing. This is not Battlefront 3, and the problem is people have it like, yeah, exactly. It is the new Battlefront 1. People have it sort of stuck in their heads that this is supposed to be Battlefront 3. It's not. It's Battlefront It's the Battlefront series' spiritual successor, and people need to realize that, because when making a new IP, even if it's based off an old one, you don't throw everything in at the first hurdle. That is not how you sell a game. That is not how you make good business. You put features in there that everyone wants to see. You throw some new stuff in there. You bring some of the old in, and you mix it with some of the new.
Yep.
Maybe there's too much old and not enough new at the moment. But then again, from what I saw, the footage I saw, it was pre-alpha. They are still pre-alpha. There is no alpha. There is no beta yet. They have a long way to go over these next 6 or 7 months.
For example, the Dared X franchise. Like this game, I know it's not Star Wars, but hear me out. This game actually it's not a reboot, it's a prequel, and and I played the King version, which I know it's Star Wars, but that game was also good Battlefront. Oh, sure, it's more of an RPG, but that game was also a reboot. Sort of. It's more a prequel to the PC game. And but this game is more of a spiritual success, like the Tomb Raider reboot was, I think, or the DMC. I'm too confused. I got my game mixed up.
Anyway, did you get any like exclusive stuff that you can tell us about from Battlefront?
Yeah, any gameplay interviews?
No. They're, like he said, they're pre-alpha. There's not going to be any gameplay yet.
Well, I mean, any
I'm
new
not sure if they've rendered levels yet.
And they only have 7 months left to go.
Yeah.
Yep.
Johnny, are you there?
Johnny?
I think you froze.
Damn it!
Oh, okay, we
I
lost
lost him.
both of them. Well, this is a good time. What are we reading, people? We'll start with Dylan.
I'm reading Young Jedi Knights, Darkest Night. It's book 5 in the Young Jedi Knights series, and as soon as I'm done with Young Jedi Knights, I can move on to New Jedi Order, which I've been waiting for a long time, because I'm very familiar with the New Jedi, the Yuzhin Vong Warren Wikipedia, and I've been wanting to actually dive into actual stories, not just the summary of what happens, for a long time. So yeah. And I finally finished the KOTOR comics, so I'm now reading Dawn of the Jedi. I'm on Dawn of the Jedi, the second book. I forget what it's called. Yeah, that's what I'm doing.
Prisoner of Bogan.
Yeah, Prisoner of Bogan.
Is it good?
I liked it.
It's okay. It could be better. You could definitely see that how it was rushed because they got, they had to get things done pretty quickly. But
okay, next. Yep. Oh wait, are you done, Dylan? Are you done?
Yeah, I'm done.
Let's go, Tristan. Does Tristan even know how to read right now? Yeah. Oh yeah, the sociopath's back, people.
Is this just Star Wars?
Yeah, just Star Wars. We're not doing the thing we did in the first Google Hangout. What a nightmare that ensued. That became a Hobbit shitting fest, as I recall.
I
love
that movie. I tried to defend that movie. That's what I was going to say.
Well, anyway, Tristan, are you reading anything?
Yeah, I'm reading The Courtship of Princess Leia.
How are you liking Dave Wolverton?
Who the hell is Dave Wolverton?
The guy who wrote it, dumbass.
Yeah, he's alright. It's just I kind of have mixed feelings about this.
Is it because it's Phantom?
No, actually, that for once has nothing to do with it. Actually, it's just so weird how the characters are acting, mainly Han Solo.
Yeah.
That's just my sort of issue with it, but it's actually kind of a good book, but it's probably my only issue with it so far.
Mhm.
Okay, so is that all you're reading?
Star Wars wise.
Star Wars wise, okay. Tevya, what are you reading Star Wars wise?
Star Wars wise, I've been trying to find a Clone Wars omnibus, but I completely forgot to buy it at the comic book store, which I wish I bought that in my thing about. But in the meantime, no. I've been reading some of the Marvel comics and
The news.
what to say? Part of me is just saying, why am I reading this? This is pointless. This is boring. I've seen it already. What's the point? the one good issue that came out in that entire series on Marvel NL is the Darth Vader well, okay, not Darth Vader comic. What am I saying? The one where Darth Vader talked to Jabba the Hutt. But then again, I've seen that.
War.
Yeah, something like that. But other than that, all those stories are complete point and boring, and I don't recommend reading those comics. No, don't know. I love the writers, but the problem with what you said, with Marvel writers, they have no idea what the hell they're learning with Star Wars. It's just nostalgia. Now,
Yeah.
I love nostalgia, but if it's done wrong, then it'll be just stupid. So.
Okay.
So that's all I got.
We got Johnny back.
Hopefully, if I'm lucky, I can jump into the clone with Omniverse, what Django suggested.
Okay, so now Johnny, are you reading anything Star Wars?
Sorry, am I reading anything Star Wars?
No, we're in our book segment here.
Or
Currently,
Or comics.
I'm reading Star Wars Tales at the moment.
The comic or the novels?
The comic.
What volume are you on? It's one of my
I think 5 or 6.
Oh, you're ahead of me.
Yep.
You are barely ahead of me, but you're ahead of me. Edward has got his mic muted because he's having technical difficulties. So
And what are you reading, Jeremy?
I'll jump to me. I've been wanting to talk about this since I've been reading it. I'm reading Darth Plagueis.
Oh, I really want to get that.
Oh, God, it's good. It's maybe one of the best things I've ever read, period. I got to where Palpatine is, Plagueis and Palpatine meet, which isn't a spoiler. That's on the it says that on the back of the book.
Well, they've got to meet somehow, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
they do.
Well, you talked about it in the movie, so I would think so.
Yeah.
Young Palpatine. It's very interesting.
How interesting.
Read the
explain.
book.
He's very, because I'm so glad they didn't give him a stupid name like Jar Jar or something.
Yeah.
And that his name, he gave up his first name in order to be, and just went by his surname, which is Palpatine.
Palpatine.
He only has the name Palpatine.
Which is pure genius.
Plagueis is really, really evil.
How evil is he? Like, is he a psychopath like Bane was?
More conniving. Because he doesn't want to have Bane's. The whole thing with Plagueis is he didn't want to be part of Bane's order. So he found that politics would be the perfect way to take over the galaxy, sort of thing. That's what's being established right now. I'm a little less than halfway through the book.
Hey, you know what Lucino forgot?
What?
You forgot to mention Palp's first name, Sheev.
What? That's his first name?
Yeah,
Let's not get into that now.
I just figured this would be a perfect time to mention that, since you're talking about Plagueis.
It's not important to the story. So.
Yeah, I know. But I just figured I'd mention that just to make the joke.
Wow, I did not know that. Damn.
Anyway, it's just the only thing I'm reading right now.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Edward, hey, welcome. What are you reading, Edward?
Guys, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What are you reading?
Hello?
Oh.
Agents of the Empire.
Oh, okay. How you liking it? Are you there? Is the grocery store like on fire or something?
And Rebel Heist.
What's going on?
Yeah.
Something.
Yeah.
Can we get technical difficulties music?
Yeah.
Oh my.
Are we speaking to IG88 here?
I did. God, I missed that droid.
Going on and off.
Mm.
Yeah.
So.
I think it's his internet connection.
I salute you.
No, my internet went down.
Test.
Yeah.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you,
Yeah,
Ed,
we can hear you. I don't clear.
but you keep
Alright,
your. Your internet's going out, so I'm sorry, Edward, but I think we have to wrap it up.
Yeah, sorry, Edward.
All right, everyone. This has been the Star Wars Reviewers Google Hangout view.
Wait, we've only got an hour. This is like a record low time for us.
What?
Yeah.
Hey, wasn't
Oh wait, what?
Johnny gonna say something about Battlefront before he got cut out?
Yeah,
Yeah,
All right, let's throw Johnny's statement.
Yeah, I mean, I was mid-sentence. What I was going to talk about was the gameplay I saw behind the scenes. So everyone who was queuing up for the booth got to see some gameplay. So I don't know, maybe 1,200 people have seen pre-alpha gameplay of Battlefront.
So what are we talking about right now?
We're talking Battlefront. Well, yeah, we've gone back to Battlefront. What you need to realize about Battlefront is that it's pre-alpha. So we're not alpha, we're not beta, we're pre-alpha. So a lot is going to change.
Is that bad? Because
No, that's not
Pre-alpha is
bad.
good.
It's not bad. Well, it's not necessarily
Right.
good either, seeing as we think the game's been in development for 3 years. But
Yeah.
my point is, people's conception of what the game should be
This
now
game
is
is-
wrong. It's wrong because the game is in pre-alpha. People shouldn't be expecting what they are expecting.
Agreed.
Anyway, so let's start off with what I saw. Obviously, we all know that the trailer's been littered with PlayStation 4. So
Yep.
what the gameplay we saw was PlayStation 4 pre-alpha footage. So it was being played live on a PlayStation 4.
Naturally.
Everything was in engine. Everything I saw was in engine, and it was all based on Endor. So I think that was going to be the obvious planet to show off because of how rich it looks and how much wildlife there is on it. So the first thing you see, and I'm not joking here, guys, the first thing you see is butterflies.
What?
I'm not kidding. The first thing you see is it pans down onto Endor and you see a load of butterflies flying around. Now I'm thinking, well, this is cool.
Ah, that's weird.
It's what DICE does best. DICE is the little intricacies and the little visuals. It's what DICE does best. However, the second thing that jumps into my mind is this going to be full of George Lucas crap? Is it just going to be special effects, and is there going to be no decent gameplay? I wasn't.
True that.
I wasn't too disappointed. So, obviously, the game looks amazing. The gameplay kicks in, and we're in first person, so we can see the Rebel Trooper in first person, and he is shooting down the scope and stuff, and he's just got.
So there's not gonna be nothing.
So you like Battlefield basically, except for Star Wars.
It looked like Battlefield with a Star Wars skin.
Let him finish.
It looked like it, however, it did not play like it.
Oh,
So it looked-
okay. So
Okay.
So it looked like it, but it did not play like it.
is that a good thing or a bad thing?
I wonder.
Are can you not say?
No, I can. Everything I saw was under embargo until like about a week ago. So I'm fine. I can talk about all of this. The same way all the other Battlefront YouTubers already have. So I think what we see is gameplay of the Endor, the Endor we see in the trailer. So the events that happen on Endor in the trailer is what we see in the gameplay. Now the gameplay looks, from what I saw, the actual map of Endor, it's not like an open battlefield map where everything is quite open. Because it's a forest, it does feel quite enclosed, and it does feel like you are mazing through the trees, which is really nice. It's not just a huge open space. It feels like you're mazing through the trees. There is verticality. There is an Ewok village in the trees, as we all see in the trailer. But there are rebel troopers up there shooting, using sniper rifles, whatever. We can't really see what guns they're using, but I can tell one of them up there has a sniper rifle. So there is verticality. There is verticality, and that's a huge thing for me, because it's all well and good having jetpacks, But the fact that you could potentially jetpack from the ground into the Ewok village, that excites me. that does excite me. So we see there are loads of particle effects and everything. I don't know how well they show that off in the trailer, but all the particle effects in there, like the fire and everything else, it all looks like it's been taken from the Star Wars universe.
Yeah.
It's not like they've just thrown particle effects in there to make stuff look cool. It all looks like it belongs to Star Wars and belongs in Star Wars, which is pretty awesome. They've stayed true to how the feel of the original films look, which is really really nice.
But the thing is, though, I heard from Angry Joe's video that we're not getting Clone Wars. Clone Wars, no political stuff.
Yeah.
I'll move on to what I think about Clone Wars later. I'll just run down this gameplay as quickly as possible. So you see, you're a rebel, you're first person, you're running through the forest, which is cool. And then, obviously, everyone starts cheering because he switches out of third person. You can do that as many times as you want in the game. You can switch in and out of first and third person freely, as much as you want. That is a thing. That is a thing. Your server isn't going to be locked to first person or third person. You can literally switch between the two, which is awesome. Which is awesome. So you know,
Good.
every second more I'm watching this gameplay, it feels even more like Battlefront. You know, it looks like it's going to be a new game, but it still feels like Battlefront, and that is good. The voiceover, the in-game voiceover is really nice. So you know how Battlefield, you've got comms chatter and everything. The comms chatter in the gameplay is really really nice. You've got a nice mixture of female rebels and male rebels, and it really, the sound most definitely immerses you in the universe. It makes it feel like Star Wars, which is really 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 cool. So they take down they're just killing ground troops, and then they take down the AT-ST, and they do that with a rocket launcher.
Yep.
Which is really cool. And then they go into, I'm not sure where they call the airstrike from, but the airstrike is somewhere.
Y-wings.
Yeah, they call in the Y-wings to take down, because the AT-AT does come in.
Yep.
And it looks fantastic when you're actually, you know, you're seeing it from the eyes of a rebel trooper. You're looking up, and holy shit, this gigantic mammoth AT-AT is just standing in front of you. That's pretty cool. The minute I saw it, though, I knew it was on rails. So you know how everyone's been saying the AT-AT is on rails for this game mode? It most definitely is. Whether you can pilot it or not, I don't know. Because we only see the gameplay from the Rebel side of things. We don't see any Imperial gameplay. It's all from the point of view of the Rebels.
So let me get this straight. Let me get this straight. So instead of powering the AT-AT, which we did way back in Battlefront 1, Battlefront 2, it's going to be now on layers.
No. Just for that game mode. I'm not saying that there's the game mode we saw was called Walker Assault. So it is quite a linear game mode in a non-linear map where you are aiming to take down walkers. So that was the game mode we saw. There are going to be loads of game modes. There's obviously going to be a conquest mode. Whether you're going to be able to pilot AT-ATs, I don't know. A big thing they talked about was power-ups. So the rocket launcher itself is a power-up weapon.
Power-ups? Why do I give you this sound familiar?
Okay, so these power-ups, they come in the form of the shield. They come in the form of shields and like heavy weapons, and then I think the next tier up is an AT-ST or something of that scale, and then the next tier up from that would be your AT-AT if you're an Imperial, and then the next tier up from that is a hero. So actually being a hero on the hero counts as a power-up, the same way it sort of worked in Battlefront 2, because you'd accumulate points and then you become a hero, so it almost did work like a power-up.
No, perks, isn't over.
I don't know how the heroes are actually really, really unlocked because we don't see any hero gameplay. We don't see anyone playing as a hero, which was quite disappointing.
And a bit odd, and so it's very, very, very conspiracy theory. I can be the hero. There's gonna be a DLC. But Microsoft is actually bullshit. EA love the DLC.
Anyway, so thermal dets are in there, and that's quite nice. They do actually. The model of the grenade does look like a thermal det, which is really, really cool. And you know how we see the big shield? We see the big shield in the trailer.
Yeah.
In the gameplay footage, we see personal bubble shields, which actually contain a single player. So I'm guessing an unlock will be a personal bubble shield. So you can unlock a personal bubble shield, which obviously encloses yourself in your own little personal shield, and then you can walk around, and that shield does follow you. So it moves with you, which is pretty cool.
Yep.
A big thing they said is that a feature in the game is there's going to be a tag team feature. So say you and a friend love to play, right? You love to play together, all right? Just you and a friend, because you know if you have like a group of 4 friends, you're always waiting on those other 2 people or that last one person to come in and play with you. So instead of having like a 4-player sort of squad-based clan system,
Yeah, 20.
they're having a tag team system. So if you've been playing the game for a month and you've got all these unlocks and all these power-ups stored, and some guy, your friend, finally gets around to buying the game because he was an idiot and didn't decide to pre-order it, and then he starts playing the game with you.
Yep.
He gets all the power-ups you get. So you guys can tag team, and you get to share your power-ups. So immediately he can come into the battlefield, and he can use that rocket launcher you unlocked. He can use that jetpack you unlocked, and that's a big thing. There's also, they hinted at it, but I think customization is going to be a big part of the game.
That would be a really good thing.
Oh, I heard about that.
Yeah.
So I think
Hey, Cameron.
you may be able to make custom looking rebels, and you'll be able to change some stuff up. But I think customization is going to play a big part of the game, and we will see a lot more of that at E3, I believe.
Well, speak about, but not in mind. What about single player? What's going on with that? Because they no campaign.
Oh,
It really pissed me off because I want campaign. I want story. Damn it.
I'll move on to campaign after I finish with the gameplay. So this asset gets taken down, and then a couple of the rebels, they go into the bunker. So you can actually enter the Endor bunker, and it is like a huge bunker building. But this part was solely in there for the hype train thing. But so the rebels go in there. One rebel turns a corner. You see your rebel friend turn the corner. And then just as he turns the corner, gets lifted up into the air and thrown against the wall. You turn the corner, and there's Vader. But, it's just an example, and that this was all still gameplay. It wasn't cinematic. It was all gameplay. So obviously, you could see the way the force powers actually worked in game, and it did actually look quite nice. I mean, he's up in the air. He's holding his neck, and it's like, and he's wriggling like you think someone would when they're being force choked up in the air. So that was pretty cool. But the fact that they put Vader in there is simply hype train. It's all hype train because we know Vader's gonna be in there. But that for us
before when Star Connect when that show Star Connect, like way back in I don't know what year it was, but sorry to interrupt, but when Star Connect was announced, there was a chessboard, and you played Jedi by all the stormtroopers, which that did look cool, but they showed Vader in it, which again did intrigue me because I want to put it. But when it finally released, all that showed was all lie, no bullshit, like, no propaganda, and that game was a complete train wreck.
Yeah, but I mean, any Kinect-based Star Wars game was going to be a bit of a train wreck, in my opinion.
Yeah. Which is sad because it's showing potential. It could have been great.
We're getting off topic here.
Anyway, so you see Vader. It's hype trained, but that for us, because we saw the gameplay. They showed the gameplay before the trailer. So they showed the gameplay. Then the lead designer of DICE came in, talked about stuff, and then we saw the cinematic trailer at the end. That confirmed heroes for us. So. Heroes are confirmed, that's cool. And then they start talking about stuff. And, yes, it's a trap because Admiral Akbar is going to be in the game. Admiral Akbar is actually going to be a playable hero in the game. I don't know if you guys have heard, but
No, I didn't hear about
He
that.
What's he
was-
going to do?
I don't know.
Yeah.
He's going to be.
All I'm
He's
gonna
going to
say,
be.
it's a trap.
Yeah, he's going to
Nope.
be a playable hero in the game. We don't know how, but the thing is that we all know they went into the Star Wars archives and they took all the photos of the stuff. But-
Star Wars Archives. Yeah, I highly doubt that because they're lying. Because they're missing some key parts.
No,
Wait.
they're not lying. They went into the Star Wars archives and took photos of loads of things. They've teased that the medical cruiser's going to be in Battlefront. I don't know how because there's going to be no space battles,
Yeah,
but
pissed me off.
You'll see.
they've teased that they've teased the medical cruiser. Like they said we've taken photos of the medical cruiser, yada yada yada, stuff like that. Because Nicholas said that the medical cruiser, the Star Destroyer is there because these are the original props. The Star Destroyer is here. The medical cruiser's there. Nicholas has to go under the Star Destroyer without breaking it with a camera and take pictures of the medical cruiser. So, you know, the medical cruiser may feature in the game. Whether a medical cruiser would make any sense in atmosphere, I don't know.
No, it wouldn't. Because the medical cruiser only works in space. If you put it in the atmosphere, it's going to get shut down.
Well, take
Well, I'm sorry.
quite well in atmosphere.
Yeah.
This is true.
They're not designed to fly in the atmosphere. The Empire did it anyway, but they have a tendency to crash.
Yes.
Yeah, they do.
So yeah, of
That's
course,
right.
Boba Fett's confirmed, and Darth Vader's confirmed, Admiral Akbar's confirmed, Han Solo's confirmed, Luke Skywalker's confirmed.
Wedge is confirmed.
I still don't get.
So, you
I-
mentioned single
well-
player. Let's get into that.
Okay, so
I
let's
get him
let's
in
get into what single player
space.
actually is going to be. So it's not going to be a campaign.
I
If
get
you're
him
expecting,
in space, but not in land.
if you were expecting a 20-hour campaign where you can sit
Me.
down and play a linear story, that's not what's going to happen. What is going to happen are these things called Battlefront missions. Now, I mean, don't fret. Don't get me wrong.
Ooh.
I would have loved a 20-hour campaign which was based around Star Wars, being able to play in some of the biggest battles with story tie-ins in there. That would have been awesome.
What about one too?
However, there are going to be Battlefront missions. Now, these missions themselves are going to be based on things that happen in the films. So you are probably going to have a Battlefront mission to do with Hoth. You're going to have a Battlefront mission to do with Endor. You're probably going to have a Battlefront mission to do with whatever happened when the Bothans went to get the
Still the Death Star plan.
the second Death Star from Solist, because Solist is confirmed in the game, of course.
Sounds a lot like
So
Halo
it's-
4 Spartan Ops missions.
Yes,
Yeah, it
yes.
does.
I think it's gonna be in the same format as Spartan Ops, but it's not going to be as shit.
But
Because I'm
Spartan
sorry.
had story. Spartan had the
Spartan-
story, in my opinion.
Spartan Ops is a sorry excuse for trying to create a second campaign for Halo 4. All
Oh, yeah,
Spartan
yeah.
Ops was Firefight with a little bit of story sprinkled on top
I'll
of it
agree.
and some nice cinematics.
Hit it. I seen cinematic of Spartan Ops, and cinematic look beautiful at a movie, and I
Right,
watched
but-
that movie. It was
Yeah,
awesome.
they looked beautiful, but you don't play a game just for visuals. Take Hotline
No.
Miami. Hotline Miami is an 8-bit game, but the
Exactly.
gameplay is friggin' amazing.
Yeah.
You know, that's you don't play a game for the visuals. Visuals sell
True,
games
yes.
nowadays because most
People love
people
graphics.
nowadays.
People love.
they-
Oh, it's pretty.
like
It's pretty great. Yeah.
The first thing you see when you pick up a game is what it looks like visually, so that can
Yeah.
potentially
It's all
sell a game.
gameplay.
But for people who actually care about video games,
That's
they will
me.
pick up the game and play it, and
Yep.
not base on visuals.
Yeah.
Because a video game is not
It's not a movie.
what it
meant to
it's
play a
not what
game.
it looks like on the screen. It's
Yeah.
what it feels
agree.
like when you play it.
Generic
Again,
graphics.
Spartan Ops, I never played them. I played single player for Halo 4, and I love the story of Halo 4. Spartan
Anyway,
Ops.
we've
I
gone a
never
bit off
played.
topic anyway.
Yeah, way back into the Star Wars here.
Yeah, but like,
Yeah.
okay, so it's probably going to take the same format as Spartan Ops.
Okay.
But yeah, there are going to be
So-
there are going to be missions, and
Stay
they're
on
going to be based.
topic. Stay on target.
So
And target.
No, none of that. Let's get.
There are going to be there are going to be missions. I don't know what missions there are going to be. I don't know how many of them there are going to be. I don't know if we're going to get new missions in DLC. I don't know how DLC is going to work. We know we're getting a free DLC pack called the Battle of Jakku. Now, the Battle of Jakku will bring the map of Jakku. It'll probably bring a couple of maps of Jakku, and it's supposed to be a prequel to Force Awakens. So it's going to tell us how that Star Destroyer landed on Jakku. Of course, Jakku
So
is
it's a tie-in. It's basically a cash grab.
You know what?
It's Force Awakens movie tie-in.
Make a whole fucking video game. Don't give me deals.
Yeah.
Finish your goddamn game. Take the extra year to make your game.
Well,
Don't give me DLC.
Yeah. I'm sick of the day one DLC bullshit. EA.
Hey, Johnny, don't get all. Oh, we need DLC. Like I know
the
you're
thing is, I think
The only
the thing
game that
is,
could actually do DLC successfully was Fallout, in my opinion.
Yeah,
the thing-
he's right.
what about Borderlands?
DLC great.
I haven't
Yeah.
played Borderlands yet. So I can
Borderlands
We got- guys, we're
did
getting way off
DLC
topic
properly.
here.
But no, my point is that okay, if for just quickly for people that hate DLC, if you bring out a game and you bring everything out at launch, eventually, if there is not another sequel coming out for another 3 years, that game is going to get old. Even if the gameplay's fucking amazing, right? It's going to get old. So that is why.
Here's the thing.
keep a game alive.
There's a difference. There's good DLC, and then there's bad DLC. Like
Anyway,
Hitman.
that's besides the point. The free
Yeah, it's
DLC
besides
that's
the
coming out, the free DLC coming out is coming out on the 8th of December, and it's the Battle of Jakku. Fun fact: the Battle of Jakku actually happened a year after the Battle of Endor.
So it's a rush battle. I'm confused.
Okay.
I talk
No, the Battle of Jakku happens a year after the Battle of Endor. However, the Force Awakens is 20 years after Return of the Jedi.
Yeah, that's a continuity flaw.
30 years.
Is it? It's 20 or 30. Is it 30?
30.
Yeah.
30 so
because-
the actors can be the right age.
Yeah.
30 years.
So, yeah, Force Awakens happens 30 years after
Return of
the
Jedi.
Return of the Jedi, but the Battle of Jakku happens a year after the Battle of Endor. So
After them get blown up.
there's an interesting fact to throw into the mix. So I'm going to be interested to see how, if there is a mission based on the Battle of Jakku, who's going to be featured in there and how it's going to play out, because you're still going to have the main characters from Return of the Jedi alive and well and fighting. So it'd be interesting to see who actually, whether Lando Calrissian turns up to that battle and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But what we do know is we're getting that free DLC on the 8th of December, and if you pre-order the game, you'll get it a week early on the 1st of December. So what it's going to contain, we don't know. What we do know is that the game is going to ship with at least 8 maps, because there are at least 2 different maps for each. At least 2 different maps for each planet. And at the moment, what?
Well, do you know when pre-orders start? When we can start pre-ordering?
I think pre-orders are already up.
Are they? I know for
Pre-order's starting right now.
but I don't know for other places.
GameStop doing it.
No.
Amazon doing
Are
it.
you
not-
pre-ordering, Jeremy?
I might.
No.
I need more games for my PS4. My
So do
PC is not well enough for me to play it on there yet. I have to do
Your what?
customization. What?
Your what is? Your
My-
PS3.
My PS4.
Oh, your
And
PS4.
I'm talking about
So-
my Master Race beast right here.
Oh,
So
right,
back to
okay, yeah,
Battlefront.
your PC. Yeah.
I think
so,
we're all. I think
We're-
we're all in agreement that no space battles is
yeah.
kind of a questionable decision.
It's,
But
Yeah.
it's questionable, but what you've got to consider is I hate to do this to us because we are big fans, but from a business standpoint, it makes sense. If you're
What?
Yeah.
if you're building a franchise from the ground up, even if it's based on an original game which has already existed for 10 years, you
20
need
years
to
probably. And still going.
leave space to improve and space to add more content so that people are going to come back and buy into your franchise again. It's all well and good people being Star Wars fans, but if you throw everything into the game, into the first iteration or the first game in the series, people are less likely to come back for the next one because it's literally just going to be a carbon copy. And that's why Battlefront 2 sold so well. It literally is a carbon copy of Battlefront 1, but with Clone Wars maps and with the space battles. And that's why Battlefront 2 sold so well, because Battlefront 2's turnaround was a year. It turned around in a year after, or 9 months after Battlefront 1 came out. And it did so well because of space battles.
True, yeah.
So,
Battlefront 2 also did good well because it had a story to it.
Well, Battlefront 1 had a story too, but it was more of just you were playing the missions.
Yeah.
Playing the missions.
And that's the thing. That's the thing I don't understand is when everyone shouts, "Oh, there's not going to be a campaign." The thing is Battlefront 1 and Battlefront 2 never had a proper campaign. They were all mission-based, little mission-based stories.
Yeah, that's true. A clone. They just had a little intro. All they had.
Exactly. They tried to tie a linear story in through all the planets, but technically, what it was each map had its own little mission, and that's what the campaign was in Battlefront 1 and Battlefront 2.
Mm-hmm.
And they're doing exactly the same in DICE's game. So why people are complaining about there not being a campaign when, number one, DICE don't pride themselves in campaigns, they pride themselves in good multiplayer games.
They tried to do a campaign once with Battlefront Shine and Door, but they tried to do a campaign once with Battlefront 4 in Hardline. Both campaigns, Battlefront 4 campaign I kind of liked, but Battlefront 4 Hardline campaign was just a stupid cop story.
Okay, the point I'm trying to make here is DICE don't pride themselves in making good campaigns. They pride themselves in making good multiplayer games. You know, they're not story writers. They're game designers. It's what they do best.
But I want to backtrack a little bit to the space battle thing and just give my 2 thoughts on it. They're probably testing it out right now, and they're probably playing with it and in the very, very basic, trying to program it so it's different from Battlefront 2.
I'm skeptical they're doing that because, and the reason I say that is that they have 6 or 7 months before this current Battlefront goes gold. What they're going to be doing is they are going to be tweaking, modifying, polishing the hell out of that game because there isn't even an alpha out yet and there's not even a beta out yet. I'm also going to point out that I don't think there will be a public beta for this game.
Why?
There will be a closed beta for it. Hype train. No, I'm being honest. The more people want the game and the less of the game people see before they actually pick it up and play it, the more they want it. And I know that sounds contradictory, but it makes sense.
Yeah.
It makes sense.
It does make sense.
It's supply and demand. If you take away the supply, there's more demand.
Yes, exactly.
Yep. More money. Fuck
Exactly.
EA.
Potentially, there's another game thing which came up. Now this was only like this just came up and it wasn't really talked about in depth, but potential special events. So there are potential like in when you're playing missions online or something, or you're playing multiplayer, there are potential special events that could happen. Nobody knows what they are, but I'm guessing they were teasing some sort of Levolution. Now, as long as
this sounds familiar.
As long as it's not Levolution on like a singular scale, where you have one giant freaking building which blows up and then changes the battlefield. They need to be.
Call of Duty did it all the time.
They need to be little scattered Levolutions, which actually change the whole battlefield. But they didn't say anything more on that, so I don't really know what to make of that, to be honest.
Okay, so is that?
There's a couple more things I'll touch upon very quickly. There is for these missions, there will be local co-op. So local co-op, there will be split screen. There will be split screen local co-op for this game.
Well, that's good news.
So you will be able to play. It's only 2-player. It's not 4-player. It's only 2-player split screen. But that has been
fine with me.
That's fine.
That has been that way.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Green.
That has been confirmed for the game. So if you've got like a PS4 or an Xbox One,
Or
Um,
PS3.
No, it won't come out.
no, it's only coming out for next gen consoles, which is another good point. They don't have to.
Fun on the other
Yeah,
older
yeah.
consoles.
No, but that's the thing. It's designed for next gen, which means they don't have to make the hurdle of designing it for previous gen and then porting it to next gen. They can use the full power and the full spectrum of the PS4 and the Xbox One, which means the PC version is going to be absolutely phenomenal. I can guarantee you that.
Yeah, the PC version is superior to both consoles, but have old parts.
Yeah, so local split screen. If you have a PS4 and an Xbox One, you want to plug in an extra controller and play local co-op. That's doable. On the missions. Whether that's doable multiplayer, I don't know. I'm pretty sure they would make that the case. Everything that hasn't been confirmed that people want. Galactic Conquest, no fucking clue. Instant action. Instant
I'm
action.
so
no
mad
idea.
about that.
On there.
I want Galactic Conquest, damn
It's the
it.
same reason. It's the same reason he said with space combat. They're leaving room open for either DLC or sequels to improve on the game.
DLC. There's some
I think
DLC.
before you jump to conclusions, what you need to realize is that the gameplay I saw was pre-alpha, so it's not even into the alpha stage yet. And I only saw one game mode, so there are still loads of other game modes that are going to release with the game. Maybe they will show off that. I mean, E3 is going to be huge for Battlefront. They're going to try and make it so that Battlefront is the game that takes E3 by storm.
If it
That's
works.
the plan. That's the plan. It will work. I mean, Battlefront might just break the internet when E3 comes around. It might just break the internet.
If Rick's in it, then I'll be there.
Yeah, eat your butt cheeks, Kim Kardashian. Battlefront's gonna.
Django will be there, creaming his pants again.
That's a funny thing because we might actually the Battlefront network might actually be at E3.
Taking with you.
We may
Please
actually
take
be
with
there.
you. Come on, go.
I can't take you with me. But we will try and cover everything Battlefront. But I think what we'll see at E3 is going to be pretty huge. If they just show off Hoth, I will be fucking disappointed because we know Hoth's in the game, we know Solist is in the game, we know Endor's in the game, and we know Jakku's in the game. Plus, we know Tatooine's in the game. That's 5 planets.
Wait.
That's 5 planets that are in the game.
What notice? What are Mustafar? Or
We don't know. We don't know.
Well, this brings up Clone Wars, and I'm gonna put this out there very quickly. There will be no Clone Wars ever. And the reason I'm saying that, and that has not been confirmed, but this is my opinion. Ever since Disney bought the Star Wars IP, they've steered the fuck away from Clone Wars. They replaced Clone Wars with Rebels. They've steered towards post Return of the Jedi ever since they've bought the IP.
Universe.
So I don't think we're gonna see.
OT purists is what they're doing.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. They're pandering to them, but they aren't releasing the original theatrical cuts of the original films.
Which is a
So,
bit
you know,
odd.
In December, there's in December we're going to get the original. We're going to get a box set of.
Is that confirmed?
Unaltered 6, because yes, the prequels were altered in the last versions released for the.
Yeah, they were very slightly. So is that confirmed? Is that confirmed? Because I will pick that up. I will pre-order it when it comes out.
It's been thrown around at Disney. I know that. So it looks like it's picking up actually at Disney.
But yeah, my point being is that they are really trying to steer away from the Clone Wars. So I'd be surprised if we see any Clone Wars in Battlefront.
But then they only made Clone Wars canon now, since Clone Wars now canon Rebels.
Dave Filoni, they make Clone Wars canon just to appease Dave Filoni so he can continue working.
Yeah, exactly. That's it. That's the only reason Ahsoka is Fulcrum. That's the only reason Ahsoka's Fulcrum, because Fulcrum could be anyone. Well, no, but that's the thing. Ahsoka has only popped up at the end of the final episode of the first season. So
yeah,
you know.
and now we have Vader in season 2.
Rebels. I'm judging from Clone Wars.
Oh, she's terrible in Clone Wars, but
In season 1 she's terrible, but season 3, 4, and 5 is great.
You'd like to think she's matured a bit, and you'd like to think her character will be a little more mature and will have more purpose in Rebels.
Yeah.
I really
You know,
hope.
Rebels retcon Force game Max Shadow.
But anyway, I'm just throwing my 2 cents out there. That I think there will be no Clone Wars in Battlefront, and I would be really surprised if there were. But what we could.
Why?
Because the Clone Wars is even in the EU, there was too much Clone Wars.
Oh yeah, there was.
So
Well,
it-
the Commando.
Have you seen Rebellion era stuff? There's a lot of that too.
Yeah,
there's more
There's more Clone Wars than
Yeah.
Rebellion era, and there's, you know, but
Well,
yeah,
the Clone
that's
Wars mainly because they had like 2 different TV shows, and then they did so much content off.
They
of
had the
this.
video game that was called Clone Wars as well.
Yeah, there was.
I think there was a
Yeah,
comic
Obi-Wan
called Clone Wars.
sounded like he had a tongue piercing.
Yep.
Yeah,
Did you
that was
know how many spin-off like comics and books they did off of that the Dave Filoni one?
Yeah, they did.
I
They
no,
were-
there aren't that many because
There's
they
a lot.
didn't go well, as I recall.
yeah, the Dark Horse one with the straight episode.
there was a Dark Horse one, and there was another one as well called Clone Wars Adventures, which was like
I remember that one.
little
Yeah,
kiddies.
that was good.
Well, I don't
Oh,
know.
yeah, I
that,
like
that was. It was no. The art style was like a sort of kids art style, but the story was actually
They were
pretty good.
geared towards kids. I know. I
Yeah.
have them all back there on my Star Wars shelf.
Is
I've
it good?
I've got them all sitting on my phone, so I do want to eventually collect them all, but it's easier to keep a digital collection at the moment because I've got no space.
Dude, I'm at the end of my Dark Horse collection. I'm getting close.
I'm more of a physical copy than digital copies. But that's just me.
I like both. Just
Oh, no,
Dark Horse's app sucks.
I prefer physical copies, but at the moment I can't afford to buy the huge backlog because I'm if I'm going to be honest, I'm only just getting into the EU. But we've completely gone off topic. Back to what I was saying, I don't think there will be any Clone Wars in Battlefront. But what we see at E3, if they want to impress me, especially,
Oh, we lost him again.
Oh, God.
Damn
The cliffhanger.
it! Cliffhanger Part 2.
Can I just end it because we've hit an hour 30 now?
Yeah.
Oh.
This was the Star Wars Reviewers Hangout number 4. Hopefully, some of you sat through this, which is a fucking miracle. And
Yeah, what
I'm
do you do with your
going to go
lives?
eat some food. So have a nice day, people.
You want to
And
go home and
remember,
rethink your
Tristan's
life.
a sociopath. Stay a fuck away from him.
Bye.